Greetings everyone, I am Sister Lily and welcome to my armory. So, today I'll be taking a look at a replacement for the first Transformer I ever owned. So back in the day when I first got into Transformers, my grandparents were in one of the department stores with me, and we were looking at what they'd get me for Christmas, and my first option was Ultra Magnus. Second option was one of the Team Bullet Train members, and third option was this. Now, admittedly, the other options were really expensive. So yeah, here we have Grimlock in his in one of his few incarnations that isn't a dinosaur. I know. G1 fans, you already hate this because it's not a dinosaur, but some of us like variety, and honestly I'm sick of G1. Like, G1 isn't my era. I will now and then watch it, and I have watched the movie many times on account of owning a copy of the 80s movie and one of the Michael Bay films. I think I own two now, but I don't really care. So, we've got, in terms of articulation and pivoting, he pivots like this. Scoop arm is on a hinge that goes like that. You've got the scoop, which is independent. You've got this part that's independent, and there's a little gadget in there that I'll share later. So I only got to really keep Grimlock with a scoop for not very long, because I made the mistake of taking him to school with me as a kid and played with him, and I lost the scoop arm, only to later find it, many months later, in pieces. Like, I found a piece of it. Like, I think I found this section, near where I'd lost it. Like, primary school kids are horrible. So yeah. So it's been ages since I've had one with a scoop arm, and I kind of just turned him into a ad hoc tank using a probably KO figure of Mixmaster from G2 to give him a gun that I just mounted on there. Like, I used the Devastator's main gun on there because it was tiny. So to transform it, you first remove that because it gets in the way and makes him look like he has a weird appendage that the human body doesn't want, that you don't want the human body to have. Now, I need to go in and adjust things a bit, because things are kind of a bit tight, and not in a good way. You know, I need to be careful not to break it away. Like, this is a 20-year-old figure. Like, Christmas this year, Christmas last year, or year just ended, was basically the point at the 20-year anniversary. So yeah, I'm glad I found this thing on eBay for a reasonable price. Now, that didn't move properly. There. So basically you need to pull the leg down till it clicks without breaking. So to do it, you fold the legs out. Hopefully you've managed to get his crotch to sit square. If not, don't feel bad. Then carefully you pull those out. You then fold his arm out of there. You fold his arm out of here. And basically you have a complete robot like this, but because you have the scoop arm you can do that. Which is so tall that I need to move the camera back. Kind of move him back on the foam, along the foam core a bit. Now, if I just pivot him, is there a way that I can just pivot him right to have him stand up? Yes, there is. Just pivot him like that. Kind of makes him slightly shorter, but it doesn't matter too much. So in terms of size, he is the tallest of his team members. We've got heavy load here with his shield with his dump truck claw. We've got Hightower with his crane rifle, and we've got Wedge with his exhaust guns, and who barely stands up. So here we have the Builder Gang, or Build Team as they're actually known in the show. These four do combine together to make a big Autobot called Landfill. Some G1 purists would think that figure belongs in the landfill, but then let's also remember, these guys, there was a third-party repaint set that essentially took the universe version of these figures, retooled them, combined them with a few others, I think including Energon, Demolisher, and some others, to make a G1 inspired Devastator using more modern toys. There was also a Decepticon repaint of these guys with Constructicon names. I'd love to have that one. They go for way too much on eBay for me to be able to. I also wouldn't mind having the universe repaint of them that makes them all yellow. Now, in terms of other size comparisons, here's how he compares to Energon. Let me just put him where I can see him on the camera, because the camera's garbage. Well, not garbage per se, but certainly near death. The screen is kind of buggered. Here's how it compares to Energon Inferno / Roadblock. Now, I can't be bothered combining Roadblock with another Autobot for this video. It doesn't really do much. Like, in terms of height, he's one of the taller deluxes, but it's because he's lanky. Now, you guys all want to see him combine, let's face it. And so they're all in vehicle mode. Now, before I do fully combine them, there are a few things I need to mention. One of them being my Hightower is broken. The mount for the crane is broken off, unfortunately. So at least that makes combining him easier. Also, my heavy loads shield is had to be re-glued on because it broke. Because unfortunately, Hasbro plastic isn't always as strong as you need it to be. Now, given this is the video on him, I'm going to combine them so that he's the main arm provider. So, the combiner port, you fold the combiner port out. Now, you pull the shield off, fold up heavy loads feet. Now, what was it with broken? No, it's Hightower. So, there you go. He goes like that. Now, pull the panel out. You pull the piece out again, but this time for Hightower. Angle it down a bit. Fold the feet up. Now, I've deliberately chosen this way because, again, part of Hightower is broken, which exposes the little metal pin that makes this whole thing work. And now I can, however, just kind of spin that around and not show off any screws. Not that that matters too much. It is like a 20-year-old figure. Now I'm just going to kind of awkwardly pose him. Now, let's take Grimlock, spin him around, pull the crane arm off, pull the arms out, turn it around, grab the leg, pivot it like this. Now I'm just going to turn it so it's easier to see. Take it like that, turn it, there's a little snip there, put that into there. Now this puts it at the back, which means you could actually, if it fits, no it doesn't, never mind. So that, you just turn that so that it goes down, preferably without yeeting the thing at whatever you're doing. Now, grab that. onto there. I'll just adjust the camera before I put wedge on. Now if you want me to do full review videos on the others of this team, I can. Now I don't have all the combiners out there. I have the members of Energon Bruticus, Energon Constructicon Maximus, well, the repaint of Bruticus, the repaint of Superion, Constructicon Maximus. Now Wedge is a bit of a pain because the little hinge on his thing here has worn out, so the pins have worn out, so I've just attached it like that. So yeah, basically I took those, folded it out, changed the hinge, because ordinarily in vehicle mode the hinge is like this. You pull it out, bring it round, fold the arm on. On the back you bring that. Now it is easier if you have the head up, just because this hole here has got to plug into that. But you need to just kind of turn it and go, come on, click. There we go. Clomp. Now, what would a transformer be without accessories? Now, we could just, actually we can't just plug that in there, so let's just hook that on under the arm. Let's just give him a scoop fist. Let's take Hightower's gun. Attach it in there. Carefully not knocking everything over. Now, I am just going to attach his... going to attach heavy load shield back on if I can without issue. No. Okay, shield gets attached on. There's an underarm hole, so because this is someone else's less actively played with figure, the joints are a bit stiffer. So pin here to point there, or alternatively point here if you want it to kind of be more of a shield, but that doesn't stay on as well. So you have a claw and a gun. Honestly, I prefer when the Autobots were the ones with the building, with the construction vehicle combiners, not the Decepticons. After all, who's going to clean up the Decepticons' damages? The damage the Decepticons cause. Now, let's just bring that out. So, that's him combined with into landfill with the other members of the team. Here's how he compares to an Energon combining deluxe class figure. Each one of these figures were deluxe class if I remember correctly. I seem to remember Wedge being kind of going, wow, Wedge is small back in the day, but I could be wrong. So yeah, anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Again, if you want me to do a video on the rest of the team members, just say so. Yeah, anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.